Melania Trump has notably been virtually AWOL throughout this year, not going to New York to show up for Donald Trump's trials and not really appearing with him at any of his big rally speeches or anything like that. But she has occasionally popped up, and it happened again just a couple of days ago. She apparently hosted a Trump Tower penthouse fundraiser for the log cabin Republicans, raising $1.4 million, which is a good sum of money for a little one night fundraiser. Bear in mind, the last fundraiser she did, and I think she's only done 2 so far, was also for the log cabin Republicans. If you're not familiar with the organization, it's an organization for LGBTQ Republicans, effectively. It used to be more influential. The last couple of years have obviously been tough, with the right taking up a never-ending anti-LGBTQ culture war. But Melania at least is sticking with them. And this is according to page 6. This is how they word it. She hosted an intimate gathering of mega donors at her and her husband's penthouse that he's probably not even allowed at. I added that part. To drum up donations to the log cabin Republicans. A guest told us hors d'oeuvres and champagne flowed as the First Lady generously welcomed the guests to her home with off-the-cuff remarks, highlighting her and Donald Trump's support for the group. What do you mean generously? That's where the event was. Like, you held an event there. It's not generous at that point. You could donate $1.4 million if you really want to be generous, but fine. Highlighting her and Donald Trump's support for the group. Donald Trump is totally playing ball this cycle with the anti-LGBTQ mania on the right. And that's just a fact. That's just a fact, I'm sorry.
The video will continue in just a moment, but first I have a message for you. TYT needs your help. Membership is vital to survival, so please go to tyt.com/team and become a member today.
The funds are raised to go to an outreach initiative for swing state voters, namely suburban women and gay and lesbian conservatives in battleground states. The event set a fundraising record for the LCR. A source said both events were sold out in a short period of time. She was elegant and eloquent. She took the time to speak with everyone. She took photos, gave a beautiful speech about the importance of unity. You know how you get unity, talking about people poisoning the blood of the nation and stuff. She also said about the election, we will see what happens, but we must win. We will see what happens is such an interesting thing to throw in there. Does she actually want him to win? Anyway, we can have that debate, but it is notable that she's not raising money for, like, I don't know, Turning Point USA or whatever, or for a specific candidate. She's raising it for the log cabin Republicans, a group that has perhaps never had less of a place inside of the Republican Party than they do right now. She's not even doing a fundraiser for her husband. And I like that she's sticking with this group if it actually reflects her values. But what do you make of it?
I don't think it reflects her values. I think it reflects a big middle finger to her husband, and this is what she thought of, or those closest to her thought of. I'd like to see her speech. Maybe I'm being too cynical, but I don't, everything you just read there, I don't know if she greeted everyone. She seems a little not gracious, wearing that coat that time that said, I don't really care to you. I mean, do you really think that she's sticking with this group? Again, I could be wrong, but I think everything she does now, from ignoring him to sticking it to him, is par for the course in a toxic relationship. Okay,
Yep.
What's next? She'll pop up with Chris Christie. Who knows? I don't know.
That would actually be very funny.
Yeah,
I would like to see that. Yeah. Well, I just want to acknowledge, I happened to see an article on LGBTQ Nation about how it is a very tough time if you're a member of the LGBTQ community and you're also part of the MAGA movement. You're going to be shocked to find out that that can be tough. And so New York had their Pride Parade, and apparently a couple of individuals in the community went, and we're going to show you a photo right here, had rainbow flags for Trump. And apparently there was a lot of hate, according to one, saying a lot of rich white women with children who feel inclined to come up to you and face off with you. I'm sure there were all sorts of people that were shouting things at them. I'm not surprised by that at all. And look, I want people to be nice to one another. I generally believe we should be polite. And there are going to be people who are gay or lesbian or bisexual or trans, but also, like, I don't know, want the rich to pay no taxes or think the earth would be better off if it was 4 degrees warmer. There are plenty of people who are gay, but also have boneheaded political opinions. But the issue is that the only place for you right now is the MAGA movement. And the MAGA movement hates your guts. They think that you're not people. They think that you're sexual predators. That puts you in a really difficult position. And I don't have an answer for what you're supposed to do. It's the nature of the two-party system. You can't have an alternative conservative party that doesn't utterly despise the LGBTQ community. This is just kind of what you have. Any thoughts?
There's just, again, this hate that is being generated and multiplied out there to hurt certain people who honestly you don't really even come in contact with. I mean, you had on the story of the woman in Hawaii who was mad at people who were, in the lobby doing what they do and started talking to them about, cross-dressing. Is it the drag queens? Well, they weren't bothering her and they really weren't in her purview, okay? So I don't know what it is, but people sometimes thrive on hate. I think love in the tank would perhaps go a lot further. Hate, it burns faster, it costs more. It's why they say revenge, bring 2 spoons or whatever. It's just, this is who we are. You can get further with love. I can't believe I sound like this, but I 100%. Do believe it.
Yeah, and I mean, look, if you're a member of the community, like you want to take a look at Project 2025 and what it says about gay people, you want to look tomorrow, by the way, we're going to talk about Agenda 47, Donald Trump's own personal version. You want to see what that says about people in your community? I know, it's rough. It's rough. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.